Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am so excited because we have so much new drugstore makeup to play with. Like I have a bin just full of drugstore makeup. This is gonna be a good video. I have a good feeling about today's video. So if you guys wanna see the new drugstore makeup that just hit the market, put to the test, then definitely keep on watching. We have so much new makeup. I am so excited for today's video. So where are we gonna start? The first thing I wanna start with is my brows. They're looking a little bit like just like one note to me right now, but I just got this new little brow styling set from Real Techniques. When I tell you, I ordered this like 2 days ago and I just got my package today, so of course I wanted to use the products in today's video, but this is new from Real Techniques. It's so cool. They had so many new like little sets for your brows, but I really like this one because you get 3 tools in here. So it's for lifting and styling. Here are the brushes right here. Some of them are double-sided with the spoolies. This one right here is the brow hold brush. You use this to press your styled brows upwards for a lifted finish. This is the long-handled brow. That's cute. This one you use to fluff your brows before applying product to create a feathered finish. Angled side of the brush, and of course your little spoolie right here. It's only $10, which I think is really nice. You have literally everything you need to create your perfect go-to brow. And I'm really excited about that. So I already kind of filled in my brows with my Morphe micro brow pencil. Of course, we're using everything drugstore today. Love that pencil. The shade that I use is Chocolate Mousse, if anyone is wondering. I'm gonna take my Morphe Supreme Brow Gel. This is the Precision Spoolie. I like this because the spoolie is really, really tiny, so it'll fit perfectly in here. So I'm just gonna take some of this on the spoolie. Once I fill in my brows, I like to just take this product or any type of brow products and just fluff up my brows. This is how I get like that fluffy looking brow effect, and I literally love it. And I like this spoolie because it's small. Then I'll just take this end and just press it down into the skin. So this next product is new from e.l.f. This is the Sun Touchable Whoa Glow Broad Spectrum 30 sunscreen. So it's the sunscreen and a makeup primer in one. I believe this retails for $14. I have seen a lot of people say this reminds them, like just from the packaging, it reminds them of the Supergoop sunscreen. Now I've never tried the Supergoop sunscreen, so I can't attest to that, but we're going to try this out. So it's gonna leave a glowy finish. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. I'm gonna take about that much, and I'm just going to rub this in. Hopefully there's like no white cast or anything like that, but I'm just gonna rub this into the skin. It has a very subtle sunscreeny smell. I feel like that's kind of to be expected because there's SPF in here, but I have really high hopes for this product. Definitely does leave a glowy looking base, but it doesn't leave like a greasy glowing effect, if that makes sense. I feel like I look very, very glowy, but it doesn't look like metallic, too much glowiness. You know, I feel like this is gonna look so beautiful under foundation, but so far it's giving. And of course, this is sunscreen, so you want to use as much as you would prefer. It's good for everyday use, and it's good for dry, normal, oily, and combination skin. The hero ingredients are aloe, hyaluronic acid, and squalene. I like the fact that it's a sunscreen and it's a makeup primer, so you kind of just like skip that priming step, whereas I usually would go in with a sunscreen, then a primer on top, but the fact that e.l.f. just thought of everything just makes me really happy. I have the new NYX Bare With Me Blur Foundation. I am so excited to try this out. Now, I will say the shades are really hard to figure out. Like I've purchased 2 other shades online. I swatched them on my face and they were so off. So then I just ended up going in store and picking up the shade Deep Bronze. But now I've seen someone who's kind of like my foundation twin use shade 19. So I'm feeling like that might be my perfect shade. Or this one might be my perfect shade. Who knows? But I feel like this is probably gonna work I don't know, we'll see, but I'm a little nervous. But there is a lot of shades to choose from. Hold on, almost forgot. Y'all almost had me. But I just got this right here. This is new from e.l.f. again. This is the Camo Color Corrector in the shade Orange. It is a full coverage satin finish. So I saw this pop up on the Ulta site as soon as I saw the Real Techniques little, you know, trio pop up, and I was like, hold on, this was $4, and this is a part of the Camo line. Grab my Camo concealer because there is a size difference between the two. So this is the concealer and this is the color corrector. It is significantly smaller, which makes sense. I was wondering why this was only $4, whereas this is like $7, and I was like, interesting. But it makes sense because it is significantly smaller. So you get, in the concealer, I don't even know how much you get in here. It's not even on the bottle. But in the color corrector, you get 0.09 fluid ounces. So we're gonna use the color corrector to color correct before we go on with that NYX foundation because I am excited to try this out. Okay, so I'm gonna color correct. Ooh, it looks really, really bright in person, but on camera, it does not look bright at all. Oh, it actually blends out really nicely, and it blends into the skin so good. Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that it's not a really like bright orange to where you have to work super hard to cover it up. Look at that. I'm color corrected. Actually just color correct around my mouth, but I'm just gonna take whatever is left and kind of just put it a little bit under the eyes and just like all over. All right, so now that we've color corrected, I'm gonna go into the foundation. So this is a medium coverage foundation. It has a matte blurred finish. So when I saw this pop up, I was like, it's giving me One Size BBB cream vibes. Like, it's giving the One Size vibes. I'm not gonna compare the two today because I want this video to be, you know, of all the new drugstore makeup, but I would love to do like a side-by-side of these two and compare. So I'm just gonna take some of this on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna put a little bit all over because I don't know how much is too much with this foundation. So I'm just gonna press this all over. And I'm just gonna take this and blend it in with a sponge. You really don't need a lot of this product. A little bit looks like it goes a very long way with this. That looks really, really good. Like, I'm always really skeptical and very picky with drugstore foundations because sometimes the undertone is not right, but this is giving. I'm actually really, really liking this. It's looking like a very low-end, medium blur type of foundation, but so far, it's looking really, really good. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this foundation just to build it up. All right, so now we are built up with 2 layers of this foundation. I think it looks really, really nice. It's definitely giving, you know, the One Size BBB cream vibe. So if you really like that foundation, then I think you're really, really gonna like this a lot. It feels super, super lightweight. It does have a matte finish. So I will say if you have like more dry skin, I would moisturize first. But if you have oily skin, your skin is probably really gonna love, love, love this product. I don't feel like it's like sinking anywhere. I just feel like it looks really nice. This is definitely like an everyday, you know, blurred tint kind of vibe. You know, I wouldn't really use this as like a part of like my, you know, going out kind of foundation. This is more so like I would use this every day just to kind of like, you know, do a nice little everyday makeup look. I definitely feel like the claim is there. It definitely blurred my skin. It definitely covered what I would like for it to cover, which is totally fine with me because for everyday, I'm not mad at that. Let's go ahead and move on to concealer and everything like that. So since we just went in with the NYX foundation, the Bare With Me line, I think it's only right to go in with the Bare With Me concealer serum. A lot of people love this. Definitely not my favorite, but I do want to see how the foundation and this concealer kind of like married together, how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm also gonna use this to clean up my brows as well. So I have 2 shades. I have Deep Golden and Sand. Sand is what I like to use to kind of like brighten. Deep Golden is, you know, kind of closer to my skin tone. This does have a pump applicator, which is probably why I don't use this as much, just because it's not a very practical kind of application. But I'm just gonna take both of these on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna apply this under my eyes. I feel like my camera just keeps washing everything out. I feel like this is a really interesting combination because this concealer is kind of like a natural finish concealer. I feel like it kind of has like a medium coverage, but it's really lightweight, and pairing this with, you know, a matte foundation is very interesting. I want to set this because this concealer does crease. Before I set this, I want to go in with a little bit of cream bronzer. This is from COSMETIC. It's very affordable. I think this is like $12 because I don't have any other new cream bronzer. I just want to kind of, you know, clean up the face a little bit and just add a little bit of dimension to the face before we continue. Blend this all together and make sure I'm not creasing. Okay, so I have two new setting powders that I want to test out. I've actually tried this one on my own already. This is the new Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Powder. Then I also have this one from Makeup Revolution. This is the In Real Life setting powder in the shade Translucent. I am very nervous about this powder just because it only comes in one shade on Ulta's website and store, so I am gonna try this out. But this does look like a lot of setting powders I have seen recently, to where it kind of has like your setting powder on the bottom and then on the top you have your pressed powder. This looks really white, so I don't know about this. Let's go in with the Milani first to blur. I feel like I've tried this before and it literally blurs, okay? It is a very blurring powder. So I'm just gonna make sure I am not creasing on the lids or under the eyes. I'm just gonna go in to the Milani powder with the sponge and I'm just gonna press this in. When I tell you this literally blurs everything, like look at that. I'm gonna do a little comparison so you guys can see both sides of the face. This is with the powder, this is without the powder, and when I tell you it looks so blurred, oh my goodness. It looks so good. I'm gonna press over my brows with this powder just to kind of like set everything so it's not looking a hot mess. That's crazy. Okay, now let's try the Makeup Revolution powder. I'm so nervous because it looks white. It looks literally white. It does not look translucent like it's saying it does. Wow, it is super, super bright on camera. Ugh. On the sponge and press off the excess, and I'm just gonna press this under the eye so we can see how this looks. I'll just tap. Oh, okay, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Okay, so surprisingly, that really stark white color that you see is actually not what shows up on the face. That's crazy. Yeah, you guys, I am not the biggest fan of that NYX concealer. That's why I don't really use it, because it does not look very good. Ugh, I might regret this, but we're gonna see. So I'm just gonna grab some of this powder and press it under the eyes. I feel like this powder definitely probably would give flashback just because of how white this is. I feel like if they came out with this powder in like a banana kind of shade, I would love this powder so much more. But for that white shade, I don't really know. And like the Milani one kind of has like a little bit of like a yellowy kind of undertone. So I prefer the Milani over that Makeup Revolution powder for sure. All right, so off camera, I just added a little bit of bronzer in the crease and some bronzer on the face. Now we have this next product right here from NYX. This is the Matte Liquid Eyeliner. So I have seen this on TikTok. I think NYX discontinued it, or like, you know, took this off of out of their line, and then they just brought it back. But this was new at Ulta on the new arrivals page. Now we all know that the One Size Point Made liquid liner is my favorite liquid liner, but I'm excited to try this out. This is what the packaging looks like. So we're gonna see, this is gonna take concentration because it has one of those applicators that I don't like, which is like that flimsy one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, not my favorite applicator, but we shall see. It is very flimsy. I feel like this applicator is definitely like a learning curve kind of applicator because it is really, really flimsy. So if you're not good with liquid liner, I don't know if I would recommend this for beginners. It's probably as good as this is gonna get, to be honest. I don't feel like they are even. This liquid liner is so hard to use. I feel like you really have to be good at this, at using this particular liquid liner for this. So I feel like I need to just leave this alone before it gets any worse. But I will say, aside from the applicator, I love how matte this gets. And if you are a fan of like that flimsy applicator that's really, really flexible, then you might like that. But if you are a beginner, you know, doing eyeliner, I don't recommend this one just because, you know, I personally recommend any kind of liquid liner that's a felt tip because I feel like you have a lot more control over, you know, the application and everything like that. I'm gonna just go in with one of my e.l.f. putty blushes because I don't have a new drugstore blush to test out. Well, I'm gonna go with this one. I think this one is in the shade, oh my gosh, there's no name on here. It's just so good. They're so good. And I love the fact that you can put them over powder as well. So that is a plus. So I'm just blending this in. For lip liner, I'm just gonna go into my LA Girl Shockwave lip liner. This is in the shade Chai Latte. I have two different types of lip products that are new. The first one is the new e.l.f. O-Face lipsticks. These are really, really great. They have a satin finish and I really, really love them. I think they're super comfortable. Then I also have, these are new from NYX. These are the Smooth Whip Matte Lip Cream. So I wish I could just like, you guys could tell me which one you want me to use today. I do have a TikTok using both of these. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. O-Face lipstick. I think we're gonna do the shade No Doubt because I think it's like, it's a really pretty like brownie nude. I'm just gonna place that in the center. For highlight, just to kind of like finish off this look, I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Golden Flower Crown. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and put it on the nose. Kind of put a little bit on the eyes, like the lids. Just a little bit. Guys, so we're gonna do a little bit of a recap on all of the new drugstore products that I tried today. We're gonna start off with this right here. Let's start off with the e.l.f. Skin Whoa Glow sunscreen. This right here is really, really nice. I feel like it's a great, you know, one and done kind of product because usually I would just go in with the sunscreen and then put on a primer, you know, right after, but this is literally a sunscreen and a primer combined and it also gives a glow. So you kind of skip a lot of different steps, which I really, really love that you just have this if you're like kind of in a rush, you don't really have time to like go through multiple steps. So I really like this product. The NYX Bear With Me Blur, you know, foundation I think is really, really nice as well. I really love the finish of it. Now I'm feeling a little bit more drier than I usually am. I have like combo skin in the winter, but I'm more so leaning towards dry. So I feel like I would definitely moisturize before I apply this because this is a matte finish. That goes for literally any matte foundation that you apply or any matte product. I definitely recommend moisturizing beforehand and really getting that base prepped before you go on with any mattifying product or any powders in general. But I really like this. If you love the One Size BBB cream, I definitely would check this out. Or if that was just a little bit too out of your price range, then this is a great alternative. I will say it's a very, very great alternative. They're pretty similar. They both kind of have like that whipped matte kind of finish to it, which I really like, but I also really like the overall finished product of the base. It took a little minute to get here, but I like the finish of it. I'm just gonna say this is not new, but the NYX Bear With Me concealer serums, I know this went viral maybe last year. I don't really like this. I don't really like this. I'm not a fan of this formula. I feel like that's such an unpopular opinion, but I'm just not the biggest fan of this concealer. I feel like it just doesn't cover enough to where it looks like I powdered and I'm like, dang, it doesn't really look like I put on any concealer, but it is a lightweight concealer if you do like that. It is super hydrating, but I feel like it's more of like on the light coverage, kind of medium-ish, kind of. So I'm just not the biggest fan of that. Loved the e.l.f., you know, color corrector. I love the fact that it's not a super, super bright orange where it's super pigmented to where you have to work really, really hard to cover it up. I love color correctors that like kind of just like melt into the skin. And this is great. For $4, you need to go out and get this. They have so many different color corrector shades where like whatever your concern is or whatever you want to cover up, they have a color for you. This one, the orange one, is for like dullness and like discoloration. So this is what I usually go towards, but I would totally pick that up, especially for $4. The setting powder. So the Milani setting powder, I really, really like. It definitely blurred. You all saw, you know, the difference on the sides of the face. I really like this. I would totally pick this up. The Revolution, I would totally pass on this because one, the color is like super white. Though on the face it looks translucent, but it's just not, I'm not vibing with this. I get the concept. I've seen a lot of brands come out with a setting powder where they have like the loose powder and then the pressed powder on top. I'm not surprised that Makeup Revolution came out with their own, but I really feel like they need to have like a banana shade. Like if they had a banana shade, then I would totally try that out to see if I see a difference, but I don't recommend this translucent shade. Even though this is all that I saw on Ulta and in stores, I don't know if there's other shades. I'm gonna definitely look to see, but I would not pick up the translucent. It's not universal at all. The little brow set from Real Techniques, I totally would pick this up for like, it's literally has everything you need to create any kind of brow look you want, whether it's like the traditional brow look, the fluffy brow look, or your own style of brow. You have every little tool in that $10 set. So I would totally pick that up. I really love the NYX, you know, matte creams. I really like those. And I also love the e.l.f. lipsticks. These are both really great formulas. I love the new round of shades that NYX came out with for these lip creams because I didn't like the first launch of shades, but they came out with some more nude shades and I really, really like them. And I also really love the e.l.f. lipstick. I love the lip combo. I also just put on a clear gloss because I feel like I always have to have a gloss on. I love a shiny lip and I also love this lip combo. I think it's so beautiful. NYX Vivid Matte Liquid Eyeliner. I don't know if I will reach for this over my One Size liquid liner because the tip on this is very flimsy where you don't have much control over this. I do not like tips like this. I love felt tips because I feel like I have much more control, which is why I love my One Size. So I don't really think I'll be reaching for this. But if you want, if you like those kind of tips and if you like a matte black liquid liner, you have an affordable one right here. So that is it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below and I will definitely catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.